Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Hi there, everybody. Weekly Renewal. Clare Calvo is here, the one and only, the woman, the myth, the legend, the person who has, for the last 20 years, taught you and I, the community, how to live a more holistically better life. Wellness, Clare, is at your core. We're childhood friends. We went to middle school together, so I've seen you have this dream, you know, when you went to the States and you really embraced fitness and wellness and everything like that. Came back, made a business. Now it's your 20-year anniversary, so congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. It's incredible. I look back over the past. Sometimes you don't realize how far you've come because we're so used to like, oh, what's next, until you just pause. And something like an anniversary, right? That really like brings that home for you.
Now, 20 years in any industry, you know, retail, anything, clothing and everything like that is brutally hard to do. Wellness is a particularly difficult industry to get into because, you know, I mean, there's so many competitors, turnover can be high, you know, like people come and go and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What are some of the challenges that you've learned now for 2 decades of bringing the unique style of wellness that you have to our community?
Well, the challenges definitely have to do with just staying afloat. Doing this in LA because I did open Hollywood Fight Club out there with a partner, and I think out there it was just, even though it's saturated with fitness, like everywhere, every block there's another studio, but there was always someone ready to come and invest in their health. Back on Guam in 2004, I would say the first 5 years were probably the roughest, just because we were new. Of course, you know, back then it wasn't, there was Paradise, there was Golds, there was like a few, you know, just, it was, the competition was a lot less.
And yoga was not a new concept, it just wasn't as thriving and as practiced as it is today locally.
Right, yeah. So
and you played a major part in that.
Well, Synergy really was the first yoga studio, the first brick and mortar. We had, you know, of course, Olympia, all the amazing, like, longtime yogis were at the Acetea. So yoga was already here, but we kind of just brought it into a studio setting. And so I think the challenges basically were keeping up with the time. So we had a strong core membership. That took a little bit of time to build. Rollin, he was my first partner, so he already had a following from Paradise. I was new to Guam, but every time I'd come back for Christmas, I kind of grew a following with more of the Thai Bowen dance. He was Pilates and yoga. Immediately he got me into yoga, but I think the challenges were just staying afloat, because this was really not, it wasn't a cash cow by any means. We did this because it was a labor of love, it's passion.
Absolutely.
But you know, you have rent to pay, you have bills to pay, so really I think it was just keeping the momentum, because membership could only get you so far, right? So it's probably always staying on top of, okay. And then of course in the beginning I'm like, oh, but let's make it donation based, you know, that would be great. And Ronald looked at me like, we're not going to survive on donation basis.
That might fly for maybe like 4 or 5 months and everything, but you know.
Right, but we were trained.
And that was way before Kickstarter, way before Patreon, any of these services we have now. I mean, you were truly relying on the generosity and a core group of members that you had that really believed in what you were doing.
And they were seeing the results. That's what it comes down to. People come in, not just the physical results, but they felt the emotional, mental, the holistic result of not just working out and sweating, not just the workout, but the work in, which is truly what Synergy is about. You get a good workout, but also a good work in.
Okay, and you kind of touched on that, Claire, real briefly. I don't know if you realize how much you underscored that, but you know, most businesses cannot survive going with the core idea that they did. You've always expanded, you've changed locations how many times now? We're down in Agana right now, but yeah.
Yeah, so we had the Mighty, and then we expanded to downstairs. So like really the main studio just moved from Mighty to Hoganya, but then we have the satellite yoga studio in East Hoganya.
What has that been now, managing multiple locations and a growing staff and a growing membership? And also, you know, you've got a full kitchen, you've got a wonderful juice bar, and it's not just, okay, come in, you know, sweat a little bit, do some yoga, and you know, like see you next week and everything like that. You really come in and you have people have an experience, mind, body, and soul.
Well, obviously it's not just a one-person show. I mean, without my partners, Judy, Rosario, Lily Regis, Jezreel Moylan, this really is, when you think, the word synergy is about more than one coming together to create a result greater than the individual parts. It takes the owners, the instructors, the staff. We have been blessed with an amazing team of people. Like, you know, obviously they kind of evolve, you know, like we get a lot of college students coming out of college, But through the years, we've always had a great team. And
You talk about girl power. You've got you, Judy, Lily, and Desiree. You guys were the Spice Girls way before the Spice Girls.
Well, of course, it started with me and Rollin, and we were a great team. And I know a lot of people talk about, oh, partnerships, oh, you don't want to do it, especially with friends. We've just been blessed. I mean, it's been auspicious to just have these, of course we have our, like siblings, right? We have our little tiffs here and there, but overall we know that synergy's our baby, so we pull together, put differences aside, but it's really just been an incredible team just over the years.
And as long as I've known you, you always live in the moment and for the moment, but you're always like a good chess player thinking 3 steps ahead. So what are you envisioning now about the next 20 for Synergy?
Wow, well, we are still, believe it or not, after the lockdown pandemic, after Mawar, we are just finally coming back to some sort of equanimity, some like homeostasis, right? Of, okay, we're good. But now looking forward, we're really exploded with the Pilates reformers that we just got. That's a huge one. So Judy, Lily, and Desiree were all certified with Pilates. I am expanding more into more somatic therapy. So
Nice.
I grew up as a dancer, and it's been a rough, 2021 was just, I was through the ringer. Personal things in my life going on in my family and in my life, and that brought me deeper into more somatic therapy, trauma recovery work. So I've been working also with Risha Uggan. She's a therapist, and we did some expression session workshops.
Interviewed her
with
several
kids.
times. She's amazing.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
So I really love working with the kids and we had a lot of foster kids there. We had some kids from DYA. I want to work with, and my parents, of course, they're 90, they both have dementia. So I've been really working a lot more on the beginning stages of life and the end stages of life, and I want to really just explore deeper into somatic therapy, trauma, like a lot of different things dealing with body, mind, still holistic work, but not so much more like in the classroom setting or fitness room setting, a little more intimate setting.
How is the embrace of yoga like today and all forms of fitness that you offer? Because I remember like 20 years ago, people were like, oh, it's just a hippy dippy thing.
Right.
And the first class I took with you in yoga, there were like maybe 12 people in there.
Yeah.
And then Marie and Sabrina and I, six of the guys who were in there were Navy SEALs, and these dudes were like, okay, this is the ultimate workout for us.
Right.
It gets us ready. So how has the community kind of like gotten on board with like the lessons that you teach and really say like it's not just a workout, it's preparing you for other aspects of life?
Oh, absolutely. So, well, first of all, we have many styles. So here we have power yoga, we have the vinyasa yoga, we have hot yoga, we have gentle restorative yoga. You guys walked into a power yoga class.
Yeah.
So really,
That was a heck of an introduction, I gotta tell you.
so there is yoga for everyone. And it's beautiful to see over the 20 years how much yoga has evolved and has really branched out. I just came from the Eno Wellness Fest this past weekend, and Liv is doing a magnificent job really opening it to, there's a younger generation. They're hungry for this type of, it's not just a workout, like I said earlier, it's a work in. So they really are exploring the depths of yoga, because yoga, the word yoga, it means to yoke, to come together, to unify mind and body, higher self with lower self, and there's 8 limbs of yoga. So the asana, the physical practice everyone sees, that's just one component. So seeing not just how much it's become more available to everyone, but also the deeper levels of not just the physical asana practice, not to dismiss it, but there's the deeper levels of the meditation, the pranayama, the breathing, like all of it together. Yoga's a lifestyle.
If you just do it for the exercise, good for you, but you're doing it wrong. You're not getting the whole picture.
Well, maybe not wrong, but you're just taking one little.
There's so much more you can get out of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's amazing. And you have been a core part of that and everything.
Thank you.
Okay, so wrapping up, what are you doing for the 20th too? And I always know you, and you always believe in giving back and thanking the people that got you here, because certainly without the community support, and you said your team, your partners, and everything like that, how are we celebrating 20 years of Synergy?
So on the 29th, next Saturday, we're going to have an open house. Well, first of all, this week, all week we have free classes. We have 65 classes each week, and so all of them are free. except for the Pilates reformers, because those are like on a wait list and people have already paid for those, but you can still try to get in. But aside from the Pilates reformer classes, all classes are free this week. So especially those who are not members, bring your friends in. Those who are members, bring your friends, your family, everything is free. Saturday the 29th, we have an open house. Again, classes are free. We're gonna have vendors, food trucks, nutritional class here with Jesse from Boca Box. We're gonna have free refreshments, entertainment, raffle prizes. We're gonna have free seats for the Twin and One Detox that's coming in August, September. There's going to be a chance to have that, a free pass for that. So it's gonna be an incredible day of holistic health and wellness and free stuff.
Okay, final question, right? 20 years into this, you are at the point in your career and your life, I would dare say, because we go back a ways and everything. You could literally do anything in any part of the world that you wanted to. I know your character, I know your work ethic, your drive, and everything like that. If you wanted to set up a company on the other side of the world, like in Japan, you could make the next Google if you wanted to, right? No doubt there. What keeps you going with this profession that you're in? And truly, your vocation is your avocation. It's not just a job. It's not,
like
something
that.
you set up.
Yeah.
So what keeps you going?
My child, my son, KP, my vision, my love for this island, my parents, my family. The things that keep me going are the people who I love, the people I'm closest to, but keeping synergy right. Because there have been times that I've kind of thought about fluttering, going here, going there. But my parents are in their golden years, so I want to be here to help them through this transition of their life. And of course with my son and this synergy family. We started 20 years ago and there's still so much more to go. So really just seeing that vision come to life and manifest as beautifully as it has, that's what gives back.
I like that. I've always appreciated the fact that she named her company Synergy, but if you named your company Love, that would have fit you perfectly too. The love could be right across there. Oops, as I hopefully.
Our chakra healing bed.
What is this, by the way?
So it's a chakra. These are quartz crystals from Brazil, Abadinia, Brazil, and it goes along with the color and the frequency of each of the 7 chakras. So people usually will lie here for about 20, 30 minutes. We have music playing, they have the sound therapy, and they have the quartz crystals activating.
This and many more things await you right now at Synergy. So Clare Calvo, never a job, truly a passion, like you said, a labor of love, and really your calling and everything. So congratulations to you. You really made your dream come true, and I'm so proud of you and so happy for you.
Thank you so much, Jace. Thank you.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.